One of the most awaited moments in Motogp this year is the return of 8-time world champion Marc Marquez. Until now, very limited information has been released, mainly due to Honda's secretive nature, but all that has now changed. In a pre-recorded interview, which was a part of Repsol Honda team launch event, Marc has shed light on a lot of our questions. In today's video, let's do a deep dive into Marc's interview. Also, stick around till the end for the pictures of brand new Repsol Honda RC213V. My name is FanClub and this is your Racing News Fix. Before we get into the interview, let's first recap Marc's year 2020 so that everybody is on the same page. Marc fractured his right arm during the closing stages of Jerez season opener while charging from P19 to P3 in July last year. The original fracture was plated on July 21, but it failed due to stress accumulation caused by attempt to return to action just the following week. This was his surgery number 1. A new plate was then fitted on August 3rd. With number 93 hoping that he would make a return before the end of the season. This was his surgery number 2. Sadly, the bone failed to heal after the second operation, a medical condition known as pseudarthrosis, thus requiring a third operation involving a bone graft from his hip to his right humerus, which took place in December last year. Tests during this operation also revealed an infection, which was the cause of his pseudarthrosis, requiring lengthy antibiotic treatments. Though Honda all this while have been tight-lipped regarding Marquez's rehabilitation. Marquez has recently started training and he is able to remove his shoulder protection which he has been carrying around for the better part of 2020. While the bone is now beginning to heal, this is the first time since arriving in Motogp in 2013 that Marquez is going into a season without expecting to be in title fight. Now let's get to the reason why you actually clicked on this video. Let's dive into his interview. He straight away dismissed any possibility of riding in QATAR pre-season test supposed to be held in first week of March by saying, "At the moment, I don't have an exact idea of when I'll be back, but I'm optimistic. My goal was to try to be in the QATAR test, but I won't be there. So my second goal is to be in the first race in QATAR." Now we know Marc as the king of early comebacks and that's exactly what he tried to do in Jerez. But the 9-month hiatus has given him a lot of change in perspective and a change in approach towards injuries. Explaining about his more patient and cautious approach, he said, "In mid-March, I will have another doctor's check to evaluate the bone consolidation and the doctors will decide. If they give me the okay, then I will continue with rehabilitation. Logically, I will only get on a MotoGP bike when I am in an acceptable physical condition. Even if I had permission today, I would not be able to do it." Now, change of approach to injuries is one thing, but change of approach on the track can make or break a rider. When asked whether this incident will affect his style on the track in any way, he said, "For the moment, my first goal is to get back on the bike. The second is to start having fun. And the third is to return to being the same Marc Marquez as always. I told the doctors to give me the okay to ride when my arm is ready to take another fall. When I get back on the bike, I will take my risks on the track. My style will always be the same, even if not from the beginning. It will take time." 2020 has been a year to forget for Marc Marquez. It nearly ended his career. But speaking about the learnings from the year, he said, "It didn't bring me many positive things, but I learned something. That is the most important thing sometimes, is not to get back on the bike as soon as possible. We made a mistake by deciding to try to race in Jerez, and we have to accept it. This was the only lesson. The rest was just a big mess." When asked about the most difficult part about sitting out for the entire season, he said, "Of course it was tough mentally too. The most difficult moment was between September and October because the arm did not improve. I had a feeling that there was something moving inside. I kept taking tests, but they were negative, and the doctors told me I had to wait. Then I had the third operation in December. I was in hospital for 10 days. And from that moment, I started to feel improvements. But I have always been optimistic. I never thought that I would no longer be able to race, but only about when I would be able to return." Now us fans really want him to come back to his old form, sliding the bike everywhere possible, but realistically thinking that's going to take some time. What's important here is that Marquez acknowledges that. Talking about his actual comeback, whenever that might be, he said, "It will be impossible in one day to go back to being Marc Marquez from before. So I say that my first goal is to have fun and then be fast. It will be a process to follow." When asked about pressure upon return and whether he's feeling it or not, he said, "I am the one who puts pressure on. Honda and the sponsors have shown great respect towards me. They told me to take the time my body asks of me. I have a 4-year contract with Honda, so the goal is to win 4 titles. If that isn't possible this year, I will try to win the next 3. Earlier last week, reigning champion Joan Mir in an interview said, if Marc comes back, he will be the favorite title contender. In response to that, Marquez said, I'm pleased, but the favorites are the others. A lot of names come to mind, and certainly Joan's. He is the champion and he has to defend the title. That is not my war right now. Mine is getting back on the bike and get to a point where I'm having fun. Repsol Honda team manager Alberto Puig, while talking about Marc's injury, said, every rider has at least one injury which takes them out of the track for a long time. Last year was Marc's. He has a lot of time to think about his approach and come out of the other side with a different mindset. I for one completely agree with Alberto. And looking at Marc's interview, it is very evident that he has taken this downtime to really evaluate his approach. It is very clear from his interview that he is in no hurry to make a comeback and he is following the doctor's advice to the dot. He says he will be the same Marc Marquez as he always was. But on the other hand, he also said things like, there will be a lot of races, but there is only one body. Has a 9-month break away from all the adrenaline rush mellowed down the furious Marc Marquez? Or will he, with time, make full recovery and come back stronger than ever? Well, for the sake of the sport, I certainly hope he does. Because talent like these are found once or twice in a generation, and it would be a great shame to see it fade away like this. What is your gut feeling? Do you think Marc will be able to come back before QATAR season opener? How long after his comeback will we see the good old Marc Marquez sliding his elbow on every corner? And finally, will we see Marc Marquez on the podium in 2021? Let me know down in comment section below. If you learned anything new about the whole Marc Marquez story from this video, or if you enjoyed my way of telling this story, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, especially for new channels like this one. That's all for now. If there are any more pieces to this puzzle, I'll make sure you get all the details right here in your Racing News Fix. And now, as promised, enjoy the images of Repsol Honda RC213V. My name is FanClub and I will see you in the next video.